Hey, what's up, guys? It's Andrew from TravelingGuitarist.com. Today I'm talking to you about guitar pedals. So some people ask what guitarists step on while they're on stage. The answer is simple. They're stepping on guitar pedals. They're also called they're also called effects units or stomp boxes. So in this article, I'm just going to kind of run through what are some of the most common ones that guitar players use. Stomp boxes and guitar pedals. They're probably there's many great things about being a musician, but gear and stomp boxes and all that stuff is great. Like when you really get into that stuff, like you can get so many pedals and so many cool effects and not only that, but the makers of them, the manufacturers of guitar pedals, they make them so cool looking. Like they're usually made out of steel and they're usually high quality if you get one from a reputable brand, and they're just great. Like you can never have too many guitar pedals. And I really look forward to buying a lot more and reviewing them for this website and really talking about them because they're so dope. Like they're so awesome. There's so many good things about them. And when you have this big pedal board filled with all these awesome pedals, it's sick, dude. But anyway, so the most common one is probably the guitar tuner. That's the number one. It looks like this in the image below. It's basically just a regular guitar tuner, except it's on the ground, and you use it as a stomp box. And these tend to be a lot more accurate than the other guitar tuners that you get. Certainly more accurate than a headstock tuner. I'm not going to name any brands specifically, but they're pretty much always more accurate than those. That's for sure. And I would say the next big one is delay. Delay is a great effect. It's amazing for all kinds of things. It's great for creating ambiance and echoes, and and quite frankly, it's great for covering up mistakes. Like if your playing technique maybe isn't as good as it should be, a delay pedal, it just kind of like thickens up the sound and makes it sound a little bit better. So that's definitely worth getting one of these two. The next one is a distortion or an overdrive pedal. Now, I included these under one subcategory, but truthfully, they're not the same. A distortion is different than an overdrive pedal, and in terms of how they deal with the signal, I think the distortion creates it. It actually like purposefully makes it clip, whereas the overdrive just kind of boosts the gain on it by quite a lot. And I think that's the main difference between the two. But they ultimately sound kind of similar. Like they're kind of doing the same thing, but not really. Like they're in the same class, so I kept them in the same category. But that's how you get like the guitar distortion, the distorted crunch guitar that you used to hear in rock music a lot. Probably still do. The next big one is the wah pedal. I actually sold my wah pedal a long time ago. I had two of them, and I don't know why I sold it. Big mistake. I'm definitely gonna go get another one someday. But they're great too. But basically how they work is you rock it back and forth. If you rock it backwards, you roll off the highs and accentuate the low frequencies, and if you rock it forwards, you accentuate the highs and you roll off the low. At least from what I understand. It's been a long time since I've used one, but I think that's how they work. They're dope. The biggest one is the Dunlop Crybaby. Hendrix used it. Kirk Hammett. I think he used to use a Dunlop Crybaby. He maybe uses Vox now, but they're used by a ton of guitar players. They're super popular. The next big one is the Digitech whammy pedal. This is mine right here. This is a beast. This piece of equipment is a beast. It's like 6 pounds. It's fairly big. It does a ton of different stuff. It's all made out of steel. It's a big unit, man. I think they go for quite a bit of money. I forget how much it was, but it wasn't cheap. But the amazing thing about these quality stomp boxes is that they last forever because they're all constructed out of steel. It's like a legitimate piece of analog equipment. Like it's going to be okay. It'll last for years, man. The next big one, a big one, is a compressor. Compressors are dope too. Like I love using a compressor. They basically just accentuate the quiet sounds and minimize the loud sounds, and they bring the signal so it's more even. And they're great, man. They make your guitar tone sound rad. Like for instance, Under the Bridge from Red Hot Chili Peppers, John Frusciante uses a compressor in that opening riff. People use it a lot now too. I think they've gotten more popular with guitar players. I know that in progressive metal and prog rock, like Plini and Sithu I don't know how to say the band's name, or his name rather, and what's the other guy? I think maybe Aaron Marshall from Intervals uses one too. But it's for clean tones. And, well, you can use it for a lot of stuff, but I find that we're hearing a lot more of it now in guitar playing. It kind of gives it more of like a plucky sound depending on how you set it up. But nah, compressors are dope. Definitely worth getting one. Then you have the multi-effects unit. I have a Line 6 pod, which is similar to that, but it's more of an amp modeler. A multi-effects unit is it usually has a bunch of different effects on it, but it's not an amp modeler. It's kind of different. But I don't have one of these. Maybe someday I'll get one. But yeah, it's basically just a huge pedal. It's like 10 pedals wrapped up in one. They tend to not be quite as good as an actual analog pedal, but many people love them, and some of them are quite good. You know, you can get a multi-effects unit that's, you know, straight fire. But and the last one is the dedicated power supply. Couldn't find a picture that I could acquire the rights to use for this post, but a dedicated power supply is just a piece of equipment that powers all the pedals. Because obviously, when you have all this stuff on one big board, it takes a lot of power, man. So you need a proper power supply to run all of it, unless you want like 10 different 9-volt adapters. But anyway, that's about it. You know, that's what you see guitar players messing around with on stage. But anyway, that's all for this video. Probably running out of space right now, like usual. But anyway, have a good one. I'll see you in the next one.